So, first of all, you do not need to do the consumer population survey. So on your sheets, if you want to edit, that section is on page 2. That is an option for you. So we're kind of just giving you, or I wanted to give you guys an option. That data set is available to the general public. So it's a data set that you can get your arms around. And that can be a possibility for your paper. And there's examples there of the types of questions that you might ask. Some of you have a topic already in mind, and you will need to find data on your own, which sometimes can be a challenge, but you might be able to get the data set from a place. So basically, sky's kind of the limit here. The other place that I'd like to see some of you do is the enrollment data set. So we have some private data here at Ottawa that we could tackle different questions regarding enrollment or questions about the university. So I've talked with admissions. I already have my hands around one data set. I think depending on the type of question you're asking about enrollment here at OU or other factors within OU, we can get some data. I've talked to Clay Fagan, and he told me the types of data, the types of variables that they collect on incoming people and applicants, and so I think they will work with us on doing that. They'll have to anonymize the data, which means they have a little bit of work potentially, but they can do it. So. All right, so let me just kind of open general questions. I got a few more things to say, but questions that come to mind so far?
What are you looking at for like minimum, like 10, 12?
I hate to state that, but yeah, that's probably in the right ballpark, yeah. I think maxes ended up being about 19 pages. So I think once you, with this project, I'd say if you follow the format and you do your work, don't worry too much about length with this type of paper. Just do a good job, because I appreciate concise writing too. So yeah, don't even, I know the old school way is to think, oh, I got to write an 8-page paper or 10-page paper or whatever. This is a little bit different of an animal. So, okay, anything else? All right, so Chelsea had asked me about JStor last time, and for those of you the reason I'm doing this prior to spring break is so that you can start thinking about your topic maybe, and also starting to look at some journals. And so I sent you in your email, I actually meant to bring a physical copy for you guys, but I'm just going to do a screen share here. Let's see, open it. Oh, there it is. Let's see, am I sharing or not yet? Nope, I'm not sharing. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. So you guys have this in your inbox, and am I on share for you? I'm not, am I, Taylor? Let me share screen here, sorry. Let me know if I do that again. Okay, here we go. So, most econ journals, the professional journals, will be in JStor. It's just an archive of multiple different disciplines, but econ is kind of glommed onto that, especially the top journals. So the good ones that you probably might want to cite might be there. Other economics journals that are totally fine might not be in JStor, and you might be able to get free copies from them in other places. So this is not a must, it's an option. And so you are required to have, what did I put in there? At least 4 I wanted of econ journals. So what I found in the past when I've taught like my MBA courses and some other well, even with your guys' spatial class before I had this JStor set up, is that if you don't have good sources that are econ in nature, the paper tends to suck. And then it also tends to lead to recycled papers that are pretty easy to spot. Like if you wrote something for management class or whatever, some other class, you can kind of tell when it doesn't have this econ framework to it of some sort. And so, I thought it was important to try to get this. So I bought the $199 subscription for myself, and what I want you to do is kind of follow this. For downloads, if you want to download a permanent copy, you're going to have to pay the $19.50 for a month, and then you'll get to keep it. You're basically buying 10 journal articles that you can keep forever. You can actually download the physical copy. You probably won't need more than 10. So if you want to do that, you can. But if you end up just wanting to read the full text, then I happen to accidentally leave my username and password here on this document. So that's an option. Now, as Chelsea found out, it's free access to everybody for 3 on your shelf.
Yeah, but there's a lot of them that would, like, there's only certain ones that then they'll let you use that free download on your
Oh, is that right?
Because the articles that I was wanting to look at, it said it was still $14 to download or something.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was
noticed
asking
that
you
too.
for yours, because like
Okay.
I think there's some, and if you do that, like if you have an account set up, a free account, when you're searching, you can click only show articles that I can access, and that'll give you the ones that you can't put on your shelf for free.
Okay.
I noticed that too whenever I was using this
And
over
then,
to look up some stuff on the healthcare thing.
Okay.
I
Well, my subscription allows unlimited reading of full text articles. So you'll get in there. You guys are my research assistants for this particular class. So get in and do that. But my downloads are limited too for my site. I have like 200 or something, so it's probably enough. But if I'm also teaching an MBA class where I'm doing this, and so this is going to be my policy on it, is that you can just use it for the reading purposes, and then that should give you plenty of time to read it and get what you need from the article. Go back to it later as you're writing or something, whatever. So, okay. Any questions on that?
basically we're just using it like EBSCOs.
Yeah, kind of. Except EBSCO you can download. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's and I don't want to downplay EBSCO host too, because you should probably search both. But if you do Google Scholar, are you guys? I guess I've talked to some of you about Google Scholar before. Everybody
You can
familiar?
find a way to get PDFs of almost anything off there.
Almost, yeah. I think you'll struggle a little bit. So this will for sure get you access to pretty much anything you need. But
Jan Lee is really good too if you can't find it on EBSCO host, but send her all the information about it. She's really good
yes,
at trying to find it.
good point. Yeah, she's been really good for me too. That I just kind of said, I need this. Okay, all of a sudden she helps me out. So yeah, good point. So yeah, Jan is a great source for that. Okay. Anything else there? So let's jump into your forecasting stuff. I wanted to at least give you a chance to look over your answers and the answers. This is where it's going to get a little dicey, Taylor. I'm going to try to do this over. You get heart. I saw you got that. So it was out of. I just scored it out of 10, and we just went over the paper stuff, or some paper stuff. Here, Adam, I also sent an email on it, but read through that later. The one thing you might want to note for sure is you do not have to follow the consumer population survey. You can use OU enrollment data or get your own data set for whatever topic you want.
Data sets, just really quick.
Yeah?
I guess like what are more rules in finding data sets?
Um, yeah, so as far as the legitimacy, the data set might have been already used in a previous study. So the part of the work with the paper is saying we used the data set out of the University of Michigan that was on blah, 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 blah. And also sometimes some economists have access to proprietary data sets that they're either A, not going to share, or they can't share. There's some economists that Ed Glazer, that was one of my favorite economists, he had special access to government data sets that nobody else can touch, and so they get all these privileged, fun, data. So I'd say that would be one way to do it. And then if you have questions, this will be a working thing, just bounce it off me. Yep. All right, so here are the answer key that I'm just going to attempt to put on the overhead. That you guys can kind of look over your answers. Of course, you had the odd numbered ones already. All right, so Taylor, I'm going to attempt to do this. I don't know how well it's going to show up for you, but Zoom seems to be a little slow or something. Okay, so now share screen. This is done. Oh. You are the host now. Okay. Let me see if I can, how well this thing will zoom. Unfortunately, our normal thing doesn't work here. Oop. Okay. How well can you see that, Taylor? You can? Good? Good. We can't see it on this end.
It's small.
I'm going to keep blowing it up here. Yeah, it shows up pretty good on screen because I can see there. All right. Well, come on a little closer. This is number 2. So a few people missed the 7.7% growth rate that you had to kind of work the formula backwards. I think most people got it.
4 weeks ago.
This was on the forecasting.
Right.
And so this number here is 975,762, which is the 906 times the 10.77, just applying the growth factor to it. Okay, to move on to number 4. Actually, let me do it this way. 16%, part A. More exactly, 15.98. For part B, we get for 2013 and 14, 1,112,000. Do I need to read these off? Come closer, I guess, if you guys can. We won't spend too much time on this, but if you want to come up, you can see it. You good? Okay. I guess you just asked me if you got it.
How do you get the 16%? Is it 873 divided by 230 to the 190 power?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I just did an extra here. That makes sense. All right. Is it? Yeah.
Okay, everybody good with A through D? Next one is E. Oops. There it is. So the growth rate is decreasing over this time frame. Good. Number 6. more time. Number 8. People did pretty decent on that, if I remember right. And number 10, was everybody done? I'm sorry. Good?
Yes.
Okay. And then number 10. That equation, which I think most everybody got. Plugging in, chugging that. Okay. So our next topic is a lab problem. So this is what we're going to spend the rest of the time, and then you'll finish it up over spring break, but this will give you a chance to start on your own. It's just a little one-pager. But I emailed you a data set on cars. So it's an Excel file that's in that email. This that I'm handing out to you is in that file as well. This is the problem. But this is just a paper copy of what's in there so that you got it in front of you. So I want to treat it as kind of a team exercise. You guys can talk to each other and work through what's being asked. Oh, I knew that there was something I was doing. Before we do jump right into the problem, I do want you to do it in a specific format. So part of one of the other things I sent you was the format, submission instructions. I'll pull it up here. So I need to share my screen. Okay, so one of the there's kind of multiple purposes for this exercise. One thing is to get you guys thinking about how you're going to write your paper with some of your responses to what you're doing. So you're going to get you're going to end up running a regression and doing some estimates and putting that into sentences. So I've got, you're going to put put your report into into a Word document. So now you will have to move stuff potentially from Excel, put it into a table. This is part of what you'll have to do for your paper. So this is a little bit of practice doing stuff like that. So I want the whole homework to be submitted in a Word document. Do not submit your Excel spreadsheet. Please write it in a report style to the extent possible. That is, complete sentences, proper grammar, and punctuation. Please give your charts and tables titles and refer to them in your text. For example, you might label your chart Figure 1, Supply and Demand in the U.S. Market for New Automobiles. Then in your write-up, you could refer to Figure 1 in your explanation. For example, Figure 1 shows that the equilibrium price in this market is approximately $35,000. So we're just going to take that extra step here to be a little bit more formal as we set up this homework, and it'll be similar in nature to how your paper should read too, and putting stuff together. And then this is just a little bit on the report heading, just to how to, on the format when you submit it. And then I'll have a folder for you on Blackboard to upload your single Word document file to. Okay, any questions there? Okay, now jump into your problem.